Thanks for joining us. At the state capitol, a new bipartisan effort is aimed at building more homes to address a housing shortage crisis. Locally, a new development will deliver more homes to Maple Grove. Plymouth-based Lennar is proposing about 235 homes on land in far northwest Maple Grove. The project, called Bella Woods, is west of the Hindu temple and near the KOA campground property. Lennar is proposing a mix of homes on different sized lots ranging from 55 and 65 feet wide up to the Maple Grove standard of 80-foot wide lots. Councilmember Michael Sophie raised concern that 85% of the lots in this plan are smaller than what is typical in Maple Grove. Councilmember Christy Janigo said the smaller lots could help increase affordability.
Just not enough standard lots in this, and we're setting precedents every time we allow much smaller lots than the 80 that's currently standard and 10,000 square foot that's currently standard.
So the price points are the reason why I am generally open to smaller lot sizes, the 55 and 65 foot wide lots. $500,000, it's pretty expensive for a home, but it's going to be a lot more accessible to residents than a home starting at $720,000 plus.
The average age of a first-time homebuyer in Minnesota is now 38 years old, a record high. Also in Maple Grove, a new restaurant is planned in the shops at Arbor Lakes. A family-owned business plans to open a restaurant called Northern Taphouse in the now shuttered Red Lobster space. Northern Taphouse also has a location in southern Plymouth near the I-394-I-494 intersection. Construction on the Maple Grove restaurant is expected to begin this spring. A Minnesota company known for frozen dessert treats is making its way to our area. Elk River-based JonnyPops has acquired an office building in Plymouth. The company purchased the 9800 at Bass Creek building. Cantel Medical sold the property for just under $10 million. JonnyPops will reportedly use the Plymouth facility as its innovation center to help with research and development. Mini donuts, fresh lemonade, and barbecue. 3 things that might remind you of summer. But as Emily Haugen reports, you can find all 3 in the same spot in Brooklyn Park any time of the year.
At the corner of the Brooklyn Park Fleet Farms parking lot,
they call this my spot.
You can find Fat Phil's Mini Donuts.
1, 2, 3, thank you, friend.
Phil Lawrence is there in all conditions, in temperatures as high as 110 and as low as -22. Even as the wind threatens to take down his sign.
If it's cold, I got 3 fish house heaters in there, so it's always 95 and sunny in the trailer.
Phil's been in the business of donuts for nearly 20 years. 5 of those years have been in the Fleet Farm lot.
This community embraced me at a time when life looked kind of scary. I didn't know where we were gonna go.
It transformed his business. Now he's the Fleet Farm mini donut guy.
And I go, yeah.
Phil's also got companions in the lot.
The more the merrier is what I say.
Like his new friend, Pat Johnson.
What do you want to say about our relationship, Pat?
Pat runs the year-old Barbecue Junkies, a Texas-style barbecue.
That was kind of the start of everything was ribs.
He credits Phil for pioneering the industry and their little spot on the corner.
This is where I try all my stuff, and my customers here are so loyal and so honest with me that if something's just not working, they tell me that, I get recipe ideas every day.
Even in the wintertime, that loyalty stays true.
I'll just do the hot dogs on the griddle and get them hot.
Pat stays in the lot until he sells out, and he agrees, even in the cold, he's in good company.
It's kind of a really cool, tight-knit community that really look out for each other, and it's just a great groups that, we all call each other friends.
You can check the Facebook pages of both food trucks to know when they'll be in Brooklyn Park. We have those links at ccxmedia.org. Do you have a favorite go-to restaurant to meet up with friends and family? 2 Plymouth twin brothers certainly do. As Sarah Allen reports, for Merlin and Marlon Smart, Perkins is a second home.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Usually when we walk in the door, the order gets put down in the kitchen.
But for the Smart brothers, where you eat also matters.
There's a fair number of people from this restaurant who work here that we have gotten to know very well, and that's fun to visit with them.
Almost 30 years ago, the twin brothers who do most things together
We have lived together all our lives except for 5 years.
started their breakfast obsession with Perkins.
We came in on the weekends and 6 weeks in the summer when I had vacation time.
Like 6 days a week.
Their passion for Perkins really ramped up once they retired.
We never look at the menu.
And this is a normal server we have 3 days a week. Thank you, Norma.
Now, for the past 14 and a half years, the 73-year-old brothers have sat down to order breakfast at the Plymouth Perkins.
Earlier years, we each ordered the Meg 7, which was basically pancakes and eggs and meat. Usually we had bacon. And then we went to, because we wanted some hash browns, we went to the Tremendous 12.
Monday through Sunday, they come.
We like the food, we like the service, we like just getting out and seeing people.
Which is great because it means you're doing something right, that they want to continue to choose you.
Perkins management has taken notice of the loyal patrons.
They don't miss a beat as far as coming in, and if they're not going to be here, they make sure they let someone know.
They are sending them to Disney World
Took us a couple days to get over the shock of it.
and to check out a new flagship Perkins restaurant in Orlando.
I'm so excited for them. I'm so pumped to hear all about it.
Though the brothers admit nothing is better than what they have in their Plymouth Perkins, where they can enjoy breakfast together.
To be able to experience it together is very meaningful for us because that's how everything special in our life has occurred, always together.
In Plymouth, I'm Sarah Allen.
The Smart brothers expect to travel to Orlando in mid-March to enjoy their Perkins breakfast there.
The Wayzata girls basketball team once again was one of the top teams in the state this past season. In this week's CCX Sports Spotlight, Chaz Moots profiles a senior captain and led the Trojans to something they hadn't accomplished in over 4 decades.
When it comes to being competitive, there's no one that wants to win more than Sophie Hawkinson.
Anytime I'm doing anything, I kind of want to win, and I have that competitive side to me. A lot of it comes from my dad. Like, we would always play one-on-one in the driveway when I was younger, and I would get blocked all the time.
It didn't take long for Sophie's head coach, Julie Stewart,
She just makes people around her better.
to figure out what number 12 was all about.
She's just a winner. She will compete, and prepare.
Sophie Hawkinson.
Sophie was a state championship winner on the soccer pitch this past fall for the Wayzata girls soccer team.
Sophie Hawkinson, a shot and a goal.
Soccer was the first sport Sophie loved, but that changed to hoops once she started playing competitively.
I remember like rec basketball, especially our 3rd grade season. I've been like the seniors now, we were all playing together then mostly, and so I remember that really well.
The next year, Sophie and her team won the 4th grade state tournament. 8 years later, and much of that same group has made it a mission this season to get back to state.
Proving ourselves to everyone has been super fun, and it being your senior year is just so special, and getting to play with the seniors that I've been growing up with now, just so fun, and it's kind of full circle moment.
With 4 games left in the regular season, Sophie and the Trojans held an 18-4 record and needed one more late conference win to secure at least a tie of their program's first conference title in 42 years.
The Hopkins Royals on the road to take on the Wayzata Trojans.
Against Hopkins, Wayzata got up 12-0, but 3 minutes into the game, Sophie went down.
It was devastating.
An ACL injury abruptly ended Sophie's senior season.
It was emotional, I would say, and it's just something that definitely not prepared for, and it's kind of something you kind of dread as an athlete.
2 weeks after the injury, Sophie had a successful surgery on her left knee. Despite battling through a lot of pain, it didn't take long for Sophie to get back in the gym, supporting those teammates she's been playing with for 10 years.
You're good.
Day 3 from surgery, and she's in our gym at practice.
Here you go.
She, went down. The next day, she's in our gym at practice.
From the bench, Sophie helped will her team to a win in the same game she went down. Wayzata took home their first late conference title since 1983 and won their next 4 games.
Obviously, you don't want to lose someone like a senior in that moment, but I think them knowing that I believe in them can also go a long way. Good job, Lindsay!
The Trojans fell one game short of a trip to the state tournament and saw their season end with a 23-5 record. Sophie's playing days aren't over yet though. Next fall, she'll enroll at North Dakota State University.
I wasn't really recruited that much by some schools, but they were a school that I felt just like got me, and especially now with my knee, they have just been awesome about it. I couldn't have asked for more support from them, and so they just made me even more confident about my decision these past 2 weeks.
The road back to the hardwood will be a long one for Sophie, but that want to always win keeps her going.
I know that I'm going to work as hard as I can with this as I would prepping for college as if I could be playing right now. I don't want this injury to hold me back in any way, and I'm just really excited to get on the court as a Bison, so I think just having that urge will also motivate me through this process and get me to where I need to be.
Before Sophie suffered her season-ending injury, she was averaging 20 points per game for the Trojans. She is also a candidate for Miss Basketball, with the finalists being named on March 16th. For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm John Jacobson.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.